Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and today I have a bit of a different sort of video and review for you. As you saw in the title, today I'm talking about a pocket knife. This is a brand new to me pocket knife from Benchmade. I bought this at Dromgoole's. You might know them for pens and ink. If you are on this channel, they do great stationery stuff, but they also sell a few brands of pocket knives. And as a pocket knife guy, as a bag guy, as a knife, as a pen guy, that's a great store and a great combination of things. So contact Dromgoole's. They don't really sell their knives online, but if you call up their store or send them an email or something, they will be glad to talk to you about pocket knives. So today we have this knife from Benchmade. Actually, I've got a couple of knives that I got from them that I want to talk about. This is the usual size of the box for a Benchmade. This box is wildly big, and I think it's kind of too much. I don't know why they put it in this giant box, but like whatever. When I got this box in the mail, I was like, wow, did they send me a bunch of extra stuff? Nope, just one of the boxes is massive. So let's get to looking at this. This is as I said, a lot of packaging here. This is the water collection. This is a brand new collection they've done, which is kind of focused on water, like water sports and people who work around water and on boats and that kind of stuff. I don't do any of that, but I do have a good reason for wanting this kind of like resistant sort of tool. One is it looks cool, and the other is that it gets humid here in the summers, and there are some knives that I just oil up and put in a bag because I don't want them to corrode in my pocket over the summer. And this one I think will be perfectly safe. So this is the Adira. I'm going to go ahead and say Adira. I'm not 100% sure if that's how you say it. This is the full-size Adira. They do make a mini version of this, which is a few inches, like an inch and a half smaller, I think. But I went for the big one because, I don't know, I got big hands. So I have actually carried this knife before. So not just an unboxing. I just put it back in the box for this. So let's get in here. As you can see, this is very my color scheme. And in fact, that is what kind of first drew me to this. And then I was like, well, I don't have anything this shape or anything like that. And I haven't bought a knife in a while. So let's get crazy. So here you go. Orange and blue. Gotta love that. On the inside, go deeper. Inspired by the Pacific Northwest and crafted to withstand the harshest elements, the water collection exists to help you explore the wilderness that lies beneath the surface, to stay out longer and go deeper. Now you can navigate the currents of the unknown in pursuit of your greatest catch. The bite is on. I'm not a sports fisherman or a professional fisherman or whatever. Your greatest catch, a Benchmade. Yeah, crafted by hand. Treat me with care. The water collection of knives was designed for use in and around all types of water environments. While the CPM-Magnacut blade steel has a high level of corrosion resistance, leaving water on the blade for long periods of time can lead to premature corrosion of the blade. Wipe the blade clean with the included cleaning cloth between uses to keep it dry and free of debris. Benchmade knives should be hand washed only. Dishwashers operate at high temperatures, so detergents may contain abrasives or chemicals that can dull and damage your knife. Please hand wash with just soap under warm water and dry immediately. Then it's got the life sharp guarantee. They will resharpen your Benchmade to a factory edge whenever you need it, which is very cool. I have actually used that service before, and it works out really well. I had my very first knife was a Benchmade. My very first good knife anyway was a Benchmade. And it's one that I lost many years ago. It was a Benchmade Striker. I really, really liked that knife, but the pocket clip came loose, and it fell out of my pocket, and who knows where it ended up. And it's very sad. But I did get it sharpened one time at a shop, and they did some bad sharpening to it, like rounded the point off on a tanto, which is supposed to be like kind of triangular. And so I sent it to Benchmade, and I'm like, look, I don't know if y'all can help me out with this. Maybe you can salvage this blade. And they said, you know what? We'll just send you a new one. And they sent me a new knife, and I love that. And they don't make the Striker anymore, so I can't replace that knife. But that's the way it goes. But this life sharp guarantee, I think it's a really cool thing. All right, let's get into the knife itself. As you can see, they shipped this one kind of like all spread out. Maybe they're just using the same box for all of them. There's like a fillet knife or something, and so they just wanted to use the same one for all and just change the foam or whatever. It seems like an interesting choice anyway. Here we have a cleaning cloth, which is rolled up in there for you to clean off your knife with into the wild below. That's pretty fun. All right, cool. Set that aside. And then here is the knife itself. Life sharp guarantee in there. Very nice packaging. I mean, aside from being too big, I think this is very nice packaging. All right, so here is the knife. I'll take off this little axis thing. It does have an axis lock, which is this thing right up here, which locks the blade up very nicely. I like the axis lock. It's one of my favorite ones because I can use the knife one-handed and I can close and open the blade without putting my hand in the path of the blade closing, which I really like. I am very careful not to cut myself with my knives. And if I have to close something by reaching across the blade and then flicking it closed, there is always some chance I'm going to close the blade on my hand, and I don't want that. So to close this one, you just pull back on these two thumb studs like this, and it will just sort of drop shut. Right? It takes all the tension off the blade, and it's very nice. But if you want to open it, you can open it one-handed and close it one-handed. Especially if you're doing stuff on the water or with gloves or whatever, you might only have one hand to open your knife and then close it, put it back in your pocket or whatever. And I think that's very handy. And this one did this great right out of the packaging, which I think is really nice. I actually don't know what the hinge is here. Let me see if they tell me if this is on bearings or something. Interestingly, nowhere on their site do they tell me what the hinge is here, what this is rolling on, whether it's on washers or whether it's on bearings. I don't know, and I haven't taken this apart yet, so I don't know. Leave me a comment down there in the bottom in the comments if you happen to know, or if you've taken one of these apart. I haven't yet. Let me see. Can I see anything in there? I can't really see through the hinge at all. It's very nice and close, but this has got such good action on it. One of the better actions straight out of the box that I've ever gotten. A lot of times I will take a knife apart and just disassemble it, clean out the bearings and stuff, re-oil and lube it and all that jazz, and then adjust it so it does this thing that the Adira here is doing all on its own. So get used to the timing a little bit. There we go. Very good. Very good. All right. So some stats on this thing. This is a pretty big knife. And if you have hands that are smaller than mine, you might want to go for the mini. They make a mini size of this, which I think is probably less alarming to the general public. But this is a fairly good size knife. It doesn't really bother me. I've got a bunch of knives that are in this size range. Let me grab some knives. We'll do a little bit of size comparison right quick. All right, so this is the Ontario Rat number 1, which is another fairly large size knife. We've got this is the Spyderco Spidey Chef with another one of my favorite knives. This is the last knife I bought from Benchmade, actually, which is a Benchmade bailout. And I really like this one. It's another orange and teal number. I've got a thing, right? This is the Civivi Elementum for smaller knives, right there. Right there, and then an absolute classic, the Kershaw Leak right here, which I'll put up there. So if you're looking for something smaller, I'd say the Civivi or the Elementum are definitely a much smaller knife. But if you're comfortable with the size of the Rat number 1, the Adira is not out of line. It is a bigger knife overall. Like you can see, it's way thicker. It's like fatter in the hand than something like the Rat number 1, but this is a really kind of, you can see it's opened a lot of boxes. I need to clean off the blade. Bad mic, but like whatever. You can see for this one, it has a liner lock, and so I have to actually reach across the blade path to close it. It shouldn't close on my hand because there is an unsharpened bit there that would hit my hand first, but you never know, So I don't prefer that style of closing, although it's perfectly fine. This one has it, and I absolutely love this Benchmade or this Spyderco Spidey Chef. All right, so that's a smattering of knives there for you. This has a 3.6-inch drop point blade. You can see it's got nice bevels and that sort of thing in there. I didn't have anything with this kind of blade shape somehow. I just didn't have any. I don't know why. It's got a nice kind of like spear point thing going on there. It's a little bit skinnier right here. You can see this is a very thick blade stock, but it's also it comes down to a very nice edge. Very, very slicey little edge there, very useful. This is supposed to be kind of a hard use knife in like wetter environments. And so, I think it's going to be a nice edge and a nice knife for, just general use of all kinds of things. All of your mail will be able to be opened with this blade for sure. It is, as I said before, CPM-Magnacut right there, which is one of those sort of modern super steel kinds of things. And I like the look. I like the blue with the orange. I think it's a good combo. It definitely drew me to this thing. Came with this lanyard attached, which I am just gonna take off. I don't really like a lanyard on a pocket knife. This one, I think if it was like a little bit further down, or if my hand was smaller, it wouldn't be as big a deal. But where it is, I kind of feel like it's in my way somehow, even though it's not really like in my hand. I don't know. Sometimes I've pulled my knife out and it's like I don't want it here. I don't know. It's just not really for me. Now, the advantage to having one of these is if you just chuck this in a pocket or something and you don't clip it to your pocket or your jeans or whatever, your apron if you're out fishing, then you can just throw it in a pocket and you can just fish around for this and grab your lanyard and pull it out. And that works fine. But I'm not going to be doing that, so I'm just going to take that off after this video here. But it is nice they included one. I kind of like that. Also, I noticed that they included a space for the lanyard right up here. So that's pretty cool. They're like, yeah, if we're gonna put a lanyard on there, you gotta cut the foam to match the lanyard being there. So there you go. So yeah, pretty darn good. I like that blade a lot. It's got a stonewashed finish to it, which is nice. It's not going to show too many use marks. Sometimes you have black finish blades or those kinds of things, DLCs and that sort of thing. It can scratch. Well, DLC doesn't really scratch, but you'll get like material embedded in it, and it doesn't look as good. And some of those black blades can scratch, although probably not DLC. That's very hard to scratch. But this nice stonewash finish, I think, looks good and is going to be good looking for a long time. So that's cool. All right, let's go ahead and just like wipe it down real quick. I mean, and my fingerprints aren't gonna be a problem for this blade steel, but the handle here is what they call it, grivery, I guess. It's ivory with a GR on the front. Grivery, I don't know, man. Grivery, whatever. But essentially, it's a fiberglass reinforced nylon, kind of like the FRNs that they would use on like a Spyderco of various kinds and other things like that. It's a very nice, light but sturdy material. You can squish it and get a little bit of play there, but it feels really nice and like grippy in the hand. These little scales, these insets that they've put in there have a nice texture to them. I like that. I like the jimping up here on the top. Gives you a nice place to put your thumb when you're, cutting line or, I don't know, filleting a fish. I don't think you want to fillet with a fish with this, but some fish thing. But yeah, I like the way they've done this. This nice little, I don't know what I'd call this bit that sweeps out here. It's not like a, I don't know, it's not like a hand guard or something, but it will keep your hand from like sliding up, which is nice. I like to be very safe with my pocket knives, and this is one I feel like is going to be nice and safe. There's also a nice little bit of jimping down here at the bottom that keeps your fingers in line. Now, if you have a smaller hand than I do, this might be too big, but for me, this is going to be just fine. And it actually feels really nice in the pocket. This is a reversible pocket clip, so you can put it on the other side. Also, of course, the axis lock is ambidextrous. So if you're right-handed or left-handed, you can totally use this axis lock, which is very nice. So if you want to keep it in your left-hand pocket, you just take the clip off, put it over here, and it is, as you can see, a very deep carry clip. And this is in your pocket. Only this much is sticking out, so that is not very much. I also have noticed that the way that this tilts is kind of the same way that this one tilts, and that is that it will keep it tilted in your pocket away from the bulk of things in your pocket, and it makes the knife smaller in your pocket than you would think it would be. This one just disappears in a pocket, whereas sometimes when they are just straight down like this one is, it's going to take up more pocket than you would think, because all this stuff over here is going to be kind of like in your way as you're trying to grab and get in your pocket. This one's slim enough that's not a big deal, but I do have some thicker knives with a straight down pocket clip that just aren't. They take up too much of my pocket, darn it. I want my pocket back. And this one is nicely tilted, just as is the one with the Spidey Chef. And so it kind of keeps the knife out of your way in your pocket, and you can just throw other stuff in there, which is really nice. I like that. All right, so there you go. Deep pocket carry clip, tip up carry like this, the correct way to carry, I think. Ambidextrous axis lock, and fairly light at 4.23 ounces. It's not like the lightest thing around, but all of that weight is pretty much in the blade. The handles are very, very light here, so it feels like the balance is kind of up in here, and I like that. I think it's pretty nice. Like I said, I've just gotten this one, but I'm already liking this. It's very fidgety and feels cool. It has a nice sound to it. I think the hollowness of these scales, as you can see, they're kind of like skeletonized on the inside. I think that gives a little bit of an echo, which is fine. But yeah, I like it. This is a very nice knife. You can find this at lots of retailers. Like I said, I got this one from Dromgoole's. Prices will vary across the web, but the full price for this guy is $250. So it's not the cheapest knife on the table here, but it's also not the most expensive. Like this one's a little bit more than that. But go ahead and call up your favorite knife shop or talk to Dromgoole's, tell them I sent you, and let me know what you think down there in the comments. Do you like seeing a little bit of knife review? I have a few knives we could talk about later on if that's a thing you're into. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Also a little bolster back here. I'm not really sure what that is. It's probably aluminum. Does it say? You know what? It doesn't say what the bolster is. I'm gonna go with that's probably aluminum. Yeah, probably aluminum. All right, cool. Anyway, nice little knife. Nice big knife, actually. I'm going to ditch this thing, but otherwise, very handsome and useful knife. And for a lot of people, people like these little lanyards too. Just not my jam. All right, that's it. Until next time, be safe out there. Don't cut yourself with your knives. And, I'll see you later. Peace out.